right, hi Josh. There you go.
I'm going to hold that to me, and then we'll get closer to the game. But obviously, we just need our depth to step up. Some guys might play, a little bit different roles, but nothing that they haven't done all season. So we just need, our entire team, step up with the depth. But it's going to be, all hands on deck.
With Paul, George, and Beverly playing now, Coach, you said it. What challenges does that present for you guys? You didn't see them the last time you guys were here.
Yeah, obviously just, two elite players, especially defensively. Beverly setting a tone. Obviously, we can probably expect to see him on jaw a lot throughout this game. Paul George coming back, an elite two-way player. You add him with Kawhi Leonard and just this great depth that the Clippers have. Starters, guys that come off the bench, the firepower they have offensively, but also what they can do just, from 5 positions guarding you, keeping, you out at bay. I know this is going to be a team that's going to put a lot of pressure on us on the ball, pick and rolls, a lot of our entries. We got to get out and play our style of play. It's kind of what we did in the second game, play with our pace, and then know that we're going to have to lock in on some individual matchups. Obviously, guys playing in the post, coming off of pick and rolls, George coming off off-ball screens, whatever it is. They've got a variety of ways to attack you. Obviously, Lou Williams getting to the free throw line, being that punch off the bench, the offensive boards with Harrell and, Zubac. It's going to be a great test for us.
Well, you guys have started working on your chemistry throughout the summer. You guys developed a great chemistry so far in this season. What is something else that you want to improve upon in the next few weeks or a couple months before the playoff time?
For us, it's everything. It's a one-day kind of mentality, just getting better every single day. Obviously, our chemistry dating back to the summer has been huge for this growth. The steps we've had to make offensively, trying to get acclimated with a new system, new teammates, how we want to play. We're going to get back to that. Our offense has been struggling recently. Got to get back to how we want to play, and then defensively, I think we've taken huge strides. We were one of the worst defensive teams to start the season. Last couple games haven't been indicative of who we are, but dating over the last month, I think we've been a whole lot better. That's chemistry, that's off the floor, but it's a mentality about just focusing on our habits every single day. That's all I care about. Each day is going to present a new challenge, or we just focus on what kind of standard of play that we have, built up to this point of the season, and just take it to another level, knowing that these next 26 games are going to be big for us.
Is that defensive improvement that you want to have, is that coaching, or is that players having passion and desire to improve?
I think just our players locking in on recognizing, the habits that we were laying from the beginning of the season, how it's taken us some time to really just latch onto that. And, there's a, competitiveness that our guys had every single night. There's an unselfishness our guys had every single night. It just took time for us to, to click. But I think it's, individual guys recognizing the impact that they can make. Obviously, guys trying to find their role in the offense was a huge, point of emphasis for us at the beginning of the year. But defensively, recognizing that if we want to be really good, if we, want to make a run here, we got to be good on both ends of the floor. And I think leading up to the break, the guys really diving in on that and seeing the numbers when we showed it to them, saying, well, we don't want to be, one of the bottom third teams in the league. And, ended up games where we're, ranked as the number 1 team, every now and then. That was huge for us. So I think it's just a mentality shift for our guys, and it's a credit to them.
Coach, I know Grayson's been out for a while now, but what have you learned about him as a person over the course of this season?
Ultra competitive kid, dating back to the summer league, getting to work with him day in and day out. It didn't matter if it was just games, it was practice, it was, the free throw champ, that he got earlier. He always wants to compete. His individual workouts, he's the ultimate competitor. Great teammate. Obviously, it's unfortunate the injury he's going through, but the fact that he's around his teammates every single day, leaning on them, continuing to provide a positive spirit. He's such a positive kid. Can be quiet at times. You got to pull it out of him a little bit. He obviously showcases that on the floor, but he's obviously just a great teammate.
With Josh coming up from the G League, he's showing some flashes on both ends of the court. How do you foresee him fitting into this set?
Yeah, he's going to, hopefully his role continues to grow, but he does it in a selfish way. He goes out there and does whatever he needs to do defensively to make an impact, whether it's an individual matchup, it's, his activity off the ball, the rotations, and then offensively, not trying to do too much. I think that was great what he experienced, with the hustles. That was our expectation of him. Go out there, be an impactful player, take on individual matchups defensively, offensively, play within the system, have confidence in, drive an attack game, but then also growing your three-point shooting game. And, this, selfish style that we play, I think he's really bought into that, and it's helped prepare him for his opportunity here. We just want him to just grow in all those areas, take everything you're doing, just take it to another level. And he's obviously a big piece for us moving forward this season.
Coach, can you attend the memorial?
We had some people from the front office, some former players go, so there was a Grizzlies presence today.
Did you go?
I was not able to make it.
Coach, you said a mentality shift. What was it exactly that clicked when you see to make them come together?
I mean, I think it's just our MO from the beginning of the season is just getting better every single day and recognizing the different opportunities, not just from a team standpoint, but individually. I think guys taking on the individual challenge of I got to get dirt defensively, as our offense was obviously hitting a stride, I think back in January, and then looking at the numbers and saying this is not the same we're talking about. At the beginning of the year, our goals were simply can we just be competitive on both ends of the floor? Can we be a top tier team? Offensively and defensively, that's what's going to carry us not this season, but it's that foundation that we're building for the long term. I think it was just a realization of as all the things that we were trying to get better at over the course of the season, this was a glaring one that we were talking about daily, and I think it was just the guys putting in that work, and then finally it just clicked. Same thing, applied to our offense when we clicked in, that start of January. So I think it's just the work that the guys have been putting in every single day, recognizing how they each had a responsibility to helping the team getting better defensively, and that's our challenge for these guys. Coming out of the break is how we're going to get better offensively and defensively every single day. We all have a role in that, coaches, players, but the fact that they have that mentality of just getting better, I think that's what's carried them to that point.
What are your thoughts on the player that brings energy up the game? What's up behind John Moran?
Yeah, I mean, D'Anthony's been huge. Obviously, it took a while for him to get his opportunity, but then I think he hit it full force. Our, expectations of all these guys is when you get your opportunity to go out there and you make an impact. And for us, it starts defensively. I think he's come in, done a heck of a job disrupting teams' offenses, whether it's an individual matchup, his ability to execute a lot of different game plans that we throw his direction, and then know that he can spark our offense. He's still continuing to grow his offensive game. It's the three-point shots, the pick and roll handling on the second side or secondary playmaker, attacking off of curls and getting down efficient in the paint. I think he's just continuing to grow his game day after day. But if he goes in with the right mentality, if I'm going to try to get stops, I'm going to try to be a disruptor on the defensive end, that's going to spark our offense. That's where we get out and play, and I think that's where he's been successful recently.
Coach, can
Sharing ball as well this year, but that's a little expensive too.
Yeah.
Is that extra motivation for the guys?
No. Unfortunately, I haven't had to talk to the guys. They're intrinsically motivated to go out there and play with their teammates and play unselfish. So I get to be partial beneficiary for my initiative, but it's the greater city of Memphis, our schools, our students, our teachers, all the resources that this money hopefully provides. It's a small part. Hopefully this over the years continues to grow and grow. But I obviously have a $20,000 goal. I hope it's way more than that because I know the difference it's making. And obviously, hopefully, it means Grizzlies are having success as well.
You mentioned when things started to click, but specifically the offense, what have you guys figured out your pace and your ball movement that has allowed you to get?
Yeah, I mean that's where we're at our best. I like to keep it simple. If we can just play with our pace and play with great spacing, which is definitely an area of improvement that we're working on right now. It's obviously finding the little tweaks here and there, adding a couple different layers to our offense. But at the core of it is just play with your teammates. Get to multiple actions. It's any given guy's opportunity to make a play, whether it's the ball in their hands or it's a shot, it's an assist. It's just that endless work of just setting that mentality of we're going to be unselfish. If we play with pace, we're at our best. It makes it hard for teams to guard. It's not always going to be built on fast break and transition opportunities. How we get that in the half court. It's our guards being playmakers, our bigs being playmakers, because we're not an ISO team. We got to attack. It's any five different guys can make a play on any given possession. I think it's just the work that they put in, recognizing, and seeing the success. And then now just making it more consistent for 48 minutes. And knowing now, especially coming out of the break, teams are going to latch in, their game plans are going to change, they're going to try to take away our pace, they're going to try to take away the paint, which we've been a leader all season long. But that's just a great challenge for us to say, okay, we know that's coming, let's do it at a higher level and still get to the paint, still get to our pace. That's what this great opportunity is for us.
Kind of been the break, so it's kind of playing back games like this, 2 days off.
Take care.
Yeah, we had a day off, obviously with the back-to-back on Saturday. Needed to regroup. Obviously learned a lot from that Lakers game, going up against an elite team, which obviously we're going to face tonight in the Clippers as well. Had a great practice. Really dug in on our habits. That's what it comes down to. We've been talking about that every single day through the course of the season. Every team that we play is going to show something new. But it's in our habits. We can't let them. They let us down the other night. So hopefully tonight, we play up to our standard. Closer. We continue to get that standard growing over these last 26 games. But great practice yesterday. Guys were dialed in, ready for a great game tonight.
What's the best shot to Dylan Brooks, who has been a bit of a slump given how things month of February for the most part?
Yeah, I mean, just keep shooting the shots you're getting. You're getting great looks; they'll fall. Don't overthink it. Just keep guard. That's one of the great traits about him. Is even when he struggles, maybe offensively, shots may not be falling. Keep playmaking. Keep engaging in those defensive battles and those opportunities that you have to make an impact on the defensive end. He's gonna be good for it. He just keeps that same mentality of going out and setting a defensive tone for us. Keep playing the right way. He's not forcing anything. The shots will fall.
Coach, is that part of the process?
I mean, that was obviously a big win for us. We had lost the game before, which was a tough loss for us. But coming here against an elite team to win in that fashion was huge for us. But we just take it in stride and say, are we living up to our standard? That night things were clicking for us offensively. Our defensive execution was great. We carried that for the most part throughout the month of January. And there's going to be pockets where you got to recognize you got to get better. So now knowing that we're going up against a team that's got most of their roster back, it's going to be in a taller task. But we got to be better for them.
Coach, when you started the season, did you envision yourself being in this position at this point in time, in the 8th position as a playoff team? And how much more intensely will that allow the team to intensify to even go higher?
Yeah, I mean, to be in this position right now is awesome. I think the guys are excited about the opportunities. It's great learning for us to be at this stage. 500 with 26 games left in the season. But going into the year, we never set expectations in terms of playoffs or bust, or it's got to be this record, or it's got to be this magic number. It's about getting better every single day and setting the foundation that's gotten us to this point. And then we just got to take it to another level. We've raised our level every single month. We've hit a little bump in the road right now, so we've just got to get back to what we do, take it to another level. But that's our focus every single day. So to know that, and these guys know we have 26 games to go do something pretty special here in our first year all together, it's awesome. But we don't think that far ahead. We think one day at a time. We've got a great Clippers team. We got to battle. We've had a couple of tough games in the past where we didn't live up to our expectation, and now we got to go do that.
Would you mind sharing with us the biggest thing you learned in this season to this point about yourself or the team?
I mean, so many different things. Obviously, I've got an unbelievable group that really does focus on getting better. An unbelievably coachable group. They've pushed me. They've allowed me to have opportunities where I've had to push them. So no surprises. Just I lean on them just as much as they lean on me.
Thanks, guys.
Great. Thanks, everybody.